So upon further reflection, the perfect me, the more ideal me, the better me. Sorry, it's really late. It's been a really long day. As a matter of fact, I just got back from a play that was a senior production, like a senior project. It was a really interesting play. It was like, oh, the pamphlet's not near the bed. I didn't remember if I carried it over to the nightstand or not. But anyway, perfect GPA, you know? I want to have perfect grades. So basically the idea of that is I think about that goal and I think about that future me who has manifested and obtained those goals. And I think about the steps and the habits that would build to bring me to become that person, to become that version of myself. So, okay, so let's picture this. It's a year down the line. I am owning this, you know, just absolutely dominating academically. I have a perfect GPA. Everyone's super impressed. I'm not only absolutely excelling in all of my classes, but going above and beyond, you know, all that excellent stuff. And so what are the habits that I am doing on a regular basis to maintain it? That is the question. So we think small first. Okay. Well, first, you show up every day. Okay, really big. You pay attention. You take your notes. And if there's something you don't understand, you speak up and ask. And if you're too shy to ask while the teacher is lecturing the class in front of everyone, you can always ask after or during office hours if you're a little bit too shy to ask in front of your peers. So there are multiple ways to handle it as well. I'm not shy. If I don't know something, I will straight up just ask. We are here to learn. We are not here because we know everything. And if we're going to sit here and pretend that we know everything, then we're a bunch of idiots. And it's pointless even being here. So, what else does future me consistently do to support this, hypothetical goal? And don't get me wrong, it is not only my hypothetical goal, it is my actual goal. This term, I have been sick quite a lot, and next term, I kind of refuse to be. I don't care what it takes. I don't care if it takes gaslighting myself with a handful of pretty crystals and rocks in my pocket. I don't care. I will literally, I don't care if I have to, show up to class with, I don't know, this little carved stone frog and this crystal heart. You know, I don't care if I have to do something like that. If that's what it takes to nail it down, then that's what it takes. I don't care. I don't care. I'll just if it comes down to gaslighting myself, it'll come down. I also have this rose quartz mushroom. Love it. Love the smell of the herbs. I've picked up a new hobby. Anywho, so, let's see, what else does this future me do? Well, she, like I said, goes to class, pays attention, takes good notes. Those are things I'm good at. I am good at taking good notes, and I am good at paying attention, and I am good at asking questions when I don't understand something, until I do finally understand something. Let's see. But, what else? Studying in spare time. And the thing is we build these up slowly. We start at attending regularly and taking the notes and, paying attention and engaging in class. That's literally just the very foundation. That's the very start. And if you're someone who struggles even with that, you can break it down even smaller steps and just make showing up the very first step. And then make, paying attention the next step. Then make taking notes the next step. Then like engaging in class, the next step. And you slowly start building up these habits until they become second nature. And in a way, you are transforming yourself when you do this. Now, the thing is you got to stay consistent with it. You can't be lazy. You can't be like, I don't feel like it. Because when that thought creeps into your head, just think, okay, but does perfect GPA Annie, does she succumb to I don't feel like it? No, I think not. No, she doesn't let I don't feel like it bully her around. And, that's kind of like how I'm trying to kind of, I guess, approach things. Because, a lot of life is about mindset. Like, sure, there's the physical aspect of things. My body is shit, and there's nothing I can do about that. And so, but what I can control is my mindset and how I handle things. And so I may as well handle it as gracefully and as dignitely as possible. Yes. Oh, my bones hurt. So yeah, basically I'm figuring this shit out, I think I am. I would like to think that future me also will have a small fitness routine that's a little bit more robust, a little bit better at maintenance than what I'm currently doing, which is very much not enough. Let's see. I also would hope that I would still be semi-social. I would also be involved in my extracurriculars, like the clubs that I'm in, but, the ones that, like, pertain to, like, my future. Like, there's a biology club and a psychology club and a chemistry club. Those aren't their actual names, but they actually have official names. But I just decided to put it in words that would be understood in general, because they do have very peculiar names that aren't evident right out the gate, unless you're like a student here or a past student here. So yeah. But yeah, so on my other channel, I think I'm going to do a version of this video where I'm probably going to actually take this video, edit it into the very same, and then actually expand on it and go into the part where I explain how Amberlynn can, or I can just cut this from that, and this can be for that channel. That has yet to be seen. And you guys will never know either way, because I'll edit this out, probably. And probably edit back in at the outtakes, because why am I like this? Tism? Riz? Yes. But anyway, So the way Amberlynn could similarly apply the same kind of concept to her life is, so she wants to be smaller. We'll go with that. Now, I don't know what her big fear with losing a ton of weight and making actual progress is. I don't know what it is that she's running from or hiding from, but she really needs to, like, get it sorted out. Because her life is on the line. And I'm seeing evidence that she's... I don't know. It's concerning. It's concerning. I swear I'm seeing evidence that her body is, beginning to make its final cries for help, basically, It's like, okay, she's ignoring me. Maybe someone else will notice, kind of thing. That's kind of how it feels, I guess. But, like, I don't know what her fear is, but she does need to get this together, because if she doesn't, it's game over. And unlike in Minecraft, you just don't respawn quite like you do in the video games. If certain cultures are right, if you do respawn, you might come back as a different creature entirely, or just a different person, depending on the cultural path you wish to reference. So, truth be told, instead of trying to set goals like, I will not eat fast food today, or I will not get takeout today, or I will not eat Cheetos today, or I will not get chips today, or something stupid like that. It's better to instead set goals that instead are the absence of an action, that instead are the presence of an action. So it's hard to sit there and be like, okay, my goal is to not do this thing, because then you're fixated on that thing, and the more you're fixated on that thing, the more likely you are to do that thing. It's like the sword hanging over you. So you don't want to make that your goal, because then it creates more pressure on you to then succeed at that goal, and you end up cracking. Trust me, I know. I've been in the binge cycle before. I know what it's like. You want to set goals for yourself instead to, at first, you procrastinate it. So, at first, you put the bar back. Okay, I'm not going to eat this right now. Maybe later. If I still crave this later, maybe later. We'll discuss it later. And you just keep doing that. Later comes, actually, this might not be in my best interest. Maybe later. And eventually it becomes to a point where you no longer crave it, and you consistently do this. And additionally, you continue to make similar decisions, again, based on who you want to be. Okay, what would Skinny Amber, let's call her Skinny Amber, shall we? This future version of you who has lost a substantial amount of weight, who was a health icon, and who has gotten her shit together, and who is the epitome of redemption arc and all that good shit. This fictional alternate universe Amber. So, what would Skinny Amber eat? What would Skinny Amber do on a regular basis to maintain this? What would Skinny Amber do instead of eat when she is stressed? Because, okay, so the goal might be, I will not eat, or I will not binge on rubbish food in response to stress in my life or emotional distress, which in her case is a non-stop thing for her. It's the internet and everyone's constantly tearing into her, and she's constantly looking at it. We all know this. So, of course, she is constantly in a poor emotional state. So, of course, she's going to be constantly eating. So, of course, she's always going to be failing such a goal. So, what can we do instead when we are feeling dismayed and we just want to stuff those feelings down until it is silent and all that's left is shame? What can we do instead? What's more productive? Well, we could do a productive habit. Yeah, we could do something productive with ourselves. Self-care. That's always a viable option. You could always paint your nails, do an entire everything bath spa day type thing, treat yourself. Face mask, the whole 9 yards, make it a whole, girl day for one type thing. Or if you want to invite Mama Lynn over, girl day for two. Treat yourselves, do a little spa day type moment. You can do other things that can help you to de-stress and to cope with situations. Talking with others while also doing other things to calm and regulate you that aren't food, because the food is killing you. That spa day, that ain't gonna hurt you none. In fact, that actually might do you some good, and you might find that very soothing to your soul, because I found that my 2-hour showers are my favorite. They are my favorite indulgence. I let myself have them every once in a while when I've had a really rough one. I'm not gonna lie, and they're my favorite indulgence. Because it's just like, sometimes it's just like, I get so depressed and it's like, yes, this is what I needed. Was just to scrub all of everything away. I'm also like insane. So it's like I'm not satisfied until an entire layer of my skin is gone. Anyway, and that's neither here nor there. But yeah, so truthfully, there are other ways to handle things. So let's see. What are other ways that we can handle things? We can go on walks. We can go swimming. We can do other things. We can exercise. You can literally exercise sitting down using resistance bands. Literally with resistance bands while sitting down. Just because you're not running, just because you're not walking, just because you're not, exerting yourself as much as you could be, you're still moving. It's still something. I mean, God, there was that one guy who literally just lost weight just by wiggling around in his freaking seat, dude. It was silly. He was just like moving around crazy in his seat, and he lost a shit ton of weight, man. And so it's just like, you build your habits around what will make you who you want to be. So when people are like, how to become that it girl, that glow up girl, they're talking about tips that help them. You're going to want to look at tips that help you. You're going to want to look at the habits that you want to build, because you want to look at the goals that you want to get to. So you want to look at how to get to that goal, then you're going to want to build those habits. That's how you become that it girl that you want to be. Because I know that you are dying to be that it girl. You know exactly what I'm talking about, Amber. I messaged you about it. You know what I'm talking about. So, if you want to be that it girl, be her. Every day in little tiny ways. And you will find yourself slowly embracing her. And as you do, you'll feel better. I genuinely believe that. Also, please get therapy, for the love of fucking God. I don't care what kind of disorder you have, whether it be BPD, NPD, whatever. There shouldn't be shame or stigma around it. Please don't feel shame. You got to be very honest with your therapist and honest with yourself if you want to change. And I believe that you can if you really, really were to be honest with yourself and with a therapist and be willing to actually change. That's a lot of ifs. It's like, yeah, it can happen, hypothetically. If. Yeah. A lot of faith there. But seriously, you could become that dynamite it girl that you're absolutely dying to be. And then you can pivot your channel. And you can still do drama content. Still get messy and say messy things and be petty and mean without it being around your self-destruction. Without it being problematic. You can pivot in a non-destructive way and still keep your income. I genuinely believe that. So yeah. Best of luck. This is probably the only advice I'm going to give you. Unless you actually seem receptive. In which case I will continue to. If you ask questions, I will be more than happy to answer. If you ask for advice, I'm more than happy to be there. If you want to message me, I'm there. Surprisingly, I know it seems surprising because of the type of channel I've set up, but the thing is, I'm not setting up the kind of channel that you probably thought that I've got going on here. In fact, this is pivoting more towards an essay type of channel, long form, researched, formatted videos. You know, stuff that's more, that says more collegiate, you know, says, oh yes, this is someone who is going to school, you know, not just your average schmo. But yeah, so I genuinely am not a very judgmental person, especially when it comes to matters of mental health. It's a complicated, murky, and kind of, it's an ugly thing, mental health. I mean, God, I can't go a single day without, like, 5 times a day, like, I'm hanging out with my friends and this dark, intrusive thought comes into my head. It's just like, actually, everyone hates you and they want you to die, you know, kind of thoughts come into my head. And it's like, oh yeah, you're actually right. I should probably go isolate myself and do them a favor and get out of their lives or something. You know, and it's just like, mental health is an ugly and it's a terrifying thing. But the thing is, to approach it and to heal and to grow and to be better, we have to be honest with ourselves, with our therapist, and be willing to grow. We have to adopt the growth mindset where we are like willing to change and grow and take in new information and let it, and be receptive to it and let it change our habits and change our opinions. Be open to new information. That is the important part, or else nothing will change. Like I said, best of luck, Amber. If you actually heed my advice, good on you. I'm really happy. Truly. I mean that. And I'm proud of you. If not, I'm sorry. And if you want to message, if you want support, I'm here. Like I said, I completely turned my life around. I've been in your shoes in several different ways at several different points in my life. Never all at the same time in the same manner, but I understand. Peace. Bye, y'all.